Hey, welcome back. Lawrence here with 706 Fly Guy. And today we're talking about the overhead cast, the standard cast, or also known as the pickup laydown cast. And this to me is one of the most fundamental casts that you're going to learn. The reason being, of course, in my opinion, is that when you start to look at other casts and learn them, you're going to be pulling fundamentals from this cast into those casts, which will make those more technical casts a slight bit easier to learn. So let's just dive into this. There are three elements that I want to touch upon before we start doing the actual practice of it. And that's a rod tip bend, smooth acceleration to an abrupt stop, and plane. So let's just start with the rod tip bend. The reason we care about the rod tip bend is because that's what's going to help load our line. And our line is what we need the energy in. Next, the smooth acceleration into an abrupt stop. So we want to make a smooth back cast or a smooth forward cast. But when we get to the end of that cast, we want a nice abrupt stop. Think of the abrupt stop being similar to if I'm trying to throw water on your face with a paintbrush. If I do this with my paintbrush, I'm covering your whole body. If I stop way up here and just sling it, I'm slinging it over your head. But if I get in front of you and I stop right here, watch my hand explode out. And you can just see that it's coming right at your face, right? So that's the idea of the abrupt stop when I go to the back cast stop and I go to the front cast stop. And those are at my 2s and my 10s. And then the final piece, the third piece, is plane. There's two planes you want to worry about, and again on the next video we'll get even more in depth, but let's just do this simply. If I'm casting and I'm doing a cast right here, my pickup is in front of me, this is the plane I want to stay on. I don't want to swing my body, I don't really want to turn my rod, and I don't want to come across my body when I'm doing this. I want to stay right here in this plane on my ups and my downs. The second part of that plane is what you can't really see above you, and that's with your rod tip. Your rod tips at the 2 and the 10 o'clock positions, you want them to ride on a plane themselves so that you can keep a nice tighter loop, and it also allows for the transfer of energy a lot easier, so you'll keep a tighter loop. So those are the three elements we want to touch upon. Now, let's get into the cast. The cast is done in 4 steps, and these are quick and easy steps. Think of it as in your pickup laydown terminology. You're going to pick up, so your lift. You're going to have a back cast, you're going to have a forward cast, and then you're going to have your lay down. And so let's touch on each of those real quick. The first being the lift or your pickup. Now, we're going to keep our rod tip down. That's important because we want to keep as little slack as possible. Next, grip. I want a firm grip, but I don't want it to be a death grip, and I don't want it to be too loose either. Just a nice firm grip so that I know I have control of my rod. Now, when I do this lift, it's important that I keep all of this straight, my wrist and my forearm. And the reason for this is that when I go to lift the rod, I'm starting to lift line out of the water. I don't want to create too much slack. If I bend my wrist too much, all I've done is lift more line out of the water, and when I start to come back, that line, that slack is going to come towards me and not go up over like I need it to. So in the beginning, I want to keep all of this straight. Once I get here, if I want to bend my wrist a little bit or more forearm, I can do that. But you're going to get the feel of that on your own. Next, we talked about the back cast. It's going to be smooth acceleration to an abrupt stop. Remember, the abrupt stop is like flicking the paint. So, or water, whichever one. So I go back, I stop. I'm looking over my shoulder when I'm learning to do this because I want to see the line lay out. Once the line has laid out, that's when I do my smooth acceleration to the front cast. Same thing, I'm going to stop at my 10 o'clock now with another abrupt stop. That's going to allow the line to transfer to the forward side of this line, or to the rod. And as it's all about to lay out, that's when I want to lay it down. So again, real quick, you're picking up, abrupt stop, and down. So let's come out a little bit further here. And of course, I've got my line all tangled up for you guys. Okay, there we go. Let me get the line out here. Okay, so I've got the line out there. My rod tip is down. I've got no slack in the line. Okay, so here I am. And let me just fix this real quick for you. Okay, so I'm up, abrupt stop back, abrupt stop forward, and down. Again, remember I mentioned there's nothing wrong with you watching that back cast or the forward cast to make sure that I'm laying it all down together. Again, everything is nice and smooth. I come to an abrupt stop, and I lay it down. If you have any questions on this, please comment. If you think there's a better way to do this, again, please comment. But I would really like it if you would subscribe, like, share, and comment on this video, as it helps build our community and make us all better anglers. So until the next time, tight lines.